One of the most anticipated basketball shoes, well, it's not quite these, but the Luka 3s are here, so we're gonna review them. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and breakdown on the Jordan Luka 3. But before we get started, we do have a quick word from today's sponsor, and that just so happens to be the good folks over at Poison. Poison wanted us to let you guys know that they have an app that you could download onto your phone right now, which will make your sneaker shopping experience way easier and a lot more smooth. You can also use our promo code that you see on the screen right here, and it'll save you 5% off on your order. But as you guys know, Poison sells 100% authenticated items. All items come double boxed, bubble wrapped, with authentication tags and certificates. And we grabbed these guys right here to give away. And stuff like this is kind of what I think people should be looking for on these third-party platforms, at least as of right now. In case you don't know what these are, this is the Puma All-Pro Nitros. This is one of the best basketball shoes in 2023. And since it's a 2023 model, we're able to find some pairs on discount at various places, such as Poison. These guys were a great all-around performer. And if you were looking for a pair or something like this, you might want to click that link down below in the description box, use our promo code, save some cash, and cop a cool pair of kicks. However, if you wanted to try and win this pair for free, we're going to give these away right now via our WearTesters Discord community. There's a link down below in the description box for that as well. So if you're interested in checking out Poison, links are down below in the description box. Don't forget to use our promo code for an extra 5% off. And don't forget to download the Poison app for a $100 coupon bundle. I will say I was expecting a little much personally. Obviously the Jordan 3 or the Air Jordan 3 is a hot ticket item and it always has been. So I was kind of hoping for a little bit of that. In here, instead we got this thing. They look like kid shoes. I don't know if it's just the colorway, but I don't know. I'm not feeling these whatsoever. On top of that, there's a few things that I just don't like right from a try on. However, as long as you can get the right fit, I think that this might be a solid shoe and, dare I say, an upgrade from the last model. In case you were wondering, this is the box. It's got Luka branding on there, but otherwise it's just a regular box. This thing right here matches the shirt that I'm wearing. In case you were wondering, you can grab it now over at Sense Apparel. We only have a few left, so if you missed out on the WearTesters tee, but you wanted it, hopefully we still have your size. Link should be down below in the description, and there should be a shelf somewhere on you. I don't know. It always is weird. It changes items all the time, so I don't even know if it's showing. But the outsole on these bad boys looks incredible. That's one of the things where I will definitely give this shoe a full-on hats off. They used herringbone, and not only that, they just put it everywhere. It's like in all directions. Which way you want to go, Luka, doesn't matter. You're going to have traction everywhere. And I think that that's awesome. So I really like this. I think that the implementation of the clear rubber and the solid rubber might be a slight detriment. However, clear rubber, especially as of late, has been pretty awesome. I know when I first started reviewing shoes way back when, 15 years ago, translucent rubber was like a dust magnet. It was ultra tacky, but it also just made dust stick to it like glue. I don't know what changed over the years, but somehow translucent rubber oftentimes nowadays outperforms the solid stuff. So I think that's great. However, the reason why it's like this is for one simple reason. Do you know what that is?
The herringbone traction?
What? Were you even listening?
No, I'm trying to go through comments. But I can see the outsole.
It's fine. I'm just going to keep going and keep it moving. It's so that you could see the tech inside. It's pretty simple. It's what Nike and Jordan Brand have been doing for a very long time. And while this is not an air-based shoe, they still wanted you to see what was inside.
Is that Formula 23?
No. Where did that go? First off, okay, it's gone, and they're just riding with Cushlon 3.0, which seems to be in everything nowadays. Am I complaining about that? No, I'm just wondering what happened to Formula 23, you guys. Y'all were like really going after that one, which I believe is just Cushlon, and it was renamed for Jordan Brand. That way Jordan Brand can feel special, like they got their own thing going on, you know what I mean? Because let's face it, Jordan Brand has been using Nike tech since forever. It is part of their agreement, so it's not like a bad thing, I don't think. That's what happens when you're a derivative company. But either way, there's people over at Jordan Brand, and they want everything to feel like
I'm special!
But yeah, no Formula 23 on these. Instead, it's Cushlon 3.0. It's highlighted in orange in this colorway. On other colorways, I'm not sure what it's going to look like. I'm sure they'll switch it up. But either way, what you can see here on the exterior of the shoe, or the lateral side, is an EVA carrier. So the light green stuff that you see, and it does wrap around the heel, that's all just regular EVA. And then where you start off in that bright orange, that's the Cushlon 3.0. Not only do they mention that on the material itself, which I think is a good move, but again, they've added the translucent rubber on there. there so that you can see it run from heel to forefoot. It's not something that's like a game changer or anything like that. Like, we've been seeing dual density setups for a very long time. I think that they're awesome, and I think that Cushlon 3.0 is awesome. So I think this is going to be a good, smooth, fluid setup for most people, at least if you wanted something like that. Some people like a little bit more spring or a little bit more bounce. If you were one of those people, you might want to go for, like, if we're just sticking within the Nike or Jordan camp, something like the GT Cut 3s or the Air Jordan 38, something with some air in them, or a better foam like that ZoomX stuff. That ZoomX is legit, by the way. Now, the materials are the part where, like, they've really cheaped out on the shoe. Not saying that the Luka 1 and the Luka 2s were like fantastic materials or anything like that. They weren't. There was nothing really premium about them, but it's just gotten cheaper. This just feels like a budget shoe through and through. And for 130 bucks, that should not be the case. Now, what we do have here is a micro molded mesh. So that's the main layer with all the ribbing that you see on there. In the back and on the tongue, we have a synthetic leather. But then you have some neoprene style of material on the tongue as well as on the medial toe area right there. So again, there's nothing really premium about these. Like, this should be like 110 max, and that's pushing it. I think that that's pushing it only because, like, it has an athlete attached to it. So, like, for a signature at 110, it kind of sounds like a good deal. For 130 bucks as a signature with no true tech and really cheap materials, not really. Like, I don't understand the cost structure right there. I know that you guys are trying to hit your margins, and I know that that dictates damn near everything over there, but lower the margin a little bit, or I don't know, just do something different. You know what I mean? Like, lower the budget. You're reusing tech, all that kind of stuff. It shouldn't be 130 like this when there's no true upgrade from model to model. Now, the support features on the shoe are, again, kind of like an elevated version, or I wouldn't even say elevated, that's probably a bad description, just a tweaked version of what we've been getting from the first two models. So the ISO plate is their main feature, and you can see that right here on the lateral side. It also peeks out right here at the toe. So much like the original two models, when you look at the bottom, you can see that it extends from the midfoot area and then it wraps all the way up to that forefoot area. It doesn't cover the entire forefoot itself. It's all along the lateral outrigger area, so on the outside of the foot. And that does two things. First thing, it adds a lot of stability, especially for lateral movements, changes of directions, hard stops, all that kind of good stuff, all of which is a good move. And then the second thing is that it's also a mini spring plate in that forefoot zone. So once you're done in that spot where you're putting all that pressure on that ISO plate, you're then supposed to be able to use that plate to then spring or launch you forward. So that's the whole concept behind it. Does it work? I'd say yes and no. It just really depends on if you like that type of restriction in the forefoot itself. Some people really just want midfoot torsion support and no spring in the front. Some people love full-length spring plates and things like that, so it just kind of depends on what you need. Overall, it's nice to see that through line throughout the entire line. I think that that consistency is something that's greatly needed and drastically missing in signature models today. This shoe's not awful or anything, it's just not for me. But at the same time, it's doing a lot of things that I think are good. It's just the price increases for what you're getting. It's kind of like, dude, like, you got to give me a little bit of something extra. Otherwise, you're just repackaging the same model over and over again and increasing the price and just telling me, like, hey, go buy that. It's new. Now, the fit is where I really don't like the shoe. I don't know if they're gonna work for me personally. They do fit a half a size small, very rare, especially for Jordan Brand. Most of the time their products fit true to size, and sometimes they fit a little bit big. This is one of the very few times where I'm like, what happened here? You know what I mean? Like, I've worn the past two models, they were both solid, and they both fit very true to size. And this one, my toe is like right at the edge. I'm just sitting here being like, man, it's a good thing they use those soft ass materials up there, because this feels like I'm about to be missing a toenail or something. Like, this crazy. I did forget to mention that the insole is this piece of shit right here. They are touting on the shoe, this little tag right there, that the shoe is made with at least 20% recycled content, one of which is clearly that insole. The second of which I believe is just this green rubber in the back. It looks like they're grind rubber. It's got different flakes in there and stuff like that. So does that count as 20%?
Yeah, why not?
Sure, maybe the synthetic leather, possibly. But with all that being said, what is today's question of the day?
Who is your favorite Dragon Ball character?
Trunks. Future Trunks, purple hair, specifically.
Why?
Because he's awesome. Dude, my son is like into anime like crazy. That's my fault. And I'm not a huge anime person. I love certain styles and I love certain shows and things like that, some of which I don't consider like true anime. Like, a lot of people confuse me saying that Avatar, The Last Airbender, is one of the greatest animated series ever, and they always be like, that's not anime. It's like, I never said anime. It's an animated series. But when we're talking about anime, Dragon Ball obviously is way up there. That was the one that I was first introduced with as a kid. kid. Inuyasha is another one. Ninja Scroll. There are others. Ronin Warriors, things like that. Ronin Warriors is so good. I think they were called something different overseas. But anyways, Dragon Ball was the OG for me as far as like my gateway into anime and stuff. And then I showed it to my kid, and that kid is like anime everything. He was Gohan. We made his own Gohan. It was pretty badass, I will say.
If you happen to be in mid-conversation about Dragon Ball and he overhears you, he will insert himself.
Not only that, but he will correct the shit out of you. He remembers everything. I don't know how. Or actually, probably gets that from me. But yeah, anyways, when we're talking about that, my favorite character is Trunks. I rewatched some of that Dragon Ball series with him, and I forgot how awesome his intro was to the whole series. Like, I was like, this guy's a he's a maniac, you know what I mean? Like, he just came in just slicing and dicing, dude. It was so cool. But yeah, that's my favorite character. What is your guys' favorite character? If anything, what's your favorite anime? Like, was Dragon Ball your gateway into anime as well? And then on top of that, is there another that you think that people should check out if they're into anime? Leave it down below in the comment section. I think that would be very helpful. But sound off below. Let us know what you think about these in the comment section. Are you excited to play in them? Are you just waiting for a better colorway? Because this one's not it. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. Stay tuned for a performance review. We'll catch you guys on the next one. So until then, y'all have a good one.